Pondicherry Institute of Medical Sciences.
You can say the health problems in migrant workers arises due to a variety of conditions. The first thing being they stay in cramped living quarters, okay, which are unhealthy to start with. Second thing, too many of them share a certain room. So this way, first thing is they don't have adequate facilities for toilet, bath, etc. So they rarely take bath. Their skin disease is very common among them. Fungal infection, hot, humid. I mean, Pondicherry is a humid place, so they get hot and humid situations that creates fungal infection. It's an ideal nidus for fungal infection. Second thing is fungal infections are also communicable, and there are infestations such as scabies. Scabies becomes very common among them because many of them share the bed, the towel, all the, even the some clothing, shirts. So it can spread very easily from one to another, and they are not very focused on their health needs actually. So they work for long hours, and therefore once they get, unless it becomes unbearable, they do not really present to a doctor normally. They try to ignore it or use some native medicine, which generally worsens the situation. So you can differentiate into communicable diseases. First thing, among communicable diseases, fungal disorders mainly. Fungal infection of the groin, tinea cruris is very common. Scabies, the infestations, and even something like varicella, epidemics can occur among them. Another angle from which they stay long hours away from their home for 2-3 months at a time, and therefore they have more chance of, that's a risk factor for sexually transmitted diseases from commercial sex workers and others. And some of them, homosexuality is another issue which is common among migrant workers again, because many of them share a room, and therefore the incidence of it has not been detailed worked up in a place like Pondicherry, but it has been done in migrant workers in Mumbai, and they have shown a high incidence of homosexuality again. There are chances of sexually transmitted infections, so that's another possibility. Okay. HIV is very common. In fact, it's a risk group, what we call migrant laborers and workers constitute a risk group for HIV prevention. Even HIV, Government of India has provided free testing actually in all the government hospitals. Per district, at least there is one hospital where free HIV testing is available. But the publicity is less, and even migrant workers, being migrant workers, they do not really know where to go. There should be some organization or possibly an NGO which can exclusively work on these migrant workers and tell them their problems. And even migrant workers will have language problems, they don't find their way easily into the healthcare facilities which are available in the city. Actually, the healthcare facility, but only the localites, as easily as they can get access, the migrant workers find it difficult to get access to the healthcare facility. So possibly what can be done is pointed intervention, such as with the help of some NGO, there can be medical camps to take care of them specifically, and just to screen them. Possibly once we detect the disease and we tell them that this needs to be treated and this is a serious condition, they will take care. But it's just the ignorance, and most of them are from a very semi-literate or even illiterate. So they do not really, the media campaigns rarely reach them, and it doesn't appeal to them, or they don't really comprehend about those things. For those things, I think we need some peer groups or NGO groups, somebody who can go to them and tell them that you need to get screened for these these disorders. The common cases presenting to our hospital from the migrant worker groups have been contact dermatitis, due to hazardous workplace, due to chemicals. Commonly, few of them sexually transmitted infections, and the normal ones as for hazardous living conditions, so scabies, commonly scabies cases. These are the main groups of cases that we see, but there is no actually outreach program as such specifically for the migrant group of workers. There is nothing like that, and the real number of cases, the incidence of cases must be higher. We are only seeing patients who voluntarily present themselves, and perhaps the more serious cases for whom it's not possible to ignore their complaints. But otherwise, the percentage of cases presenting to the hospital is very less, and therefore targeted intervention is necessary.
Most of the interviews probed into the fact that basic necessities such as food, water, healthcare, and life security, particularly for the risk group, is nil or scarce in providence. In our country, 74% of construction companies employs 100 to 150 workers per day. So the health hazards prevailing among them can affect the labor power of the country itself. And it's a question for our sustainable development and also social welfare. Similarly, the construction workers inside the university campus also faces the problems of similar sorts, mainly dermatological, respiratory and sexually transmitted diseases. The voyage continues, seeking a hopeful life like the small canoes in the strong wind.
सबके माई हो तुमाई सबके फेरा ना नजरिया हम दुआरिया आईनी ना हो हम दुआरिया आईनी ना माई हो बनी के भिखरिया हम दुआरिया आईनी ना माई हो बनी के भिखरिया हम दुआरिया आईनी ना माई हो तुमाई सबके माई हो तुमाई सबके फेरा ना नजरिया हम दुआरिया आईनी ना हम दुआरिया आईनी ना माई हो बनी के भिखरिया हम दुआरिया आईनी ना माई हो बनी के भिखरिया हम दुआरिया आईनी ना.
Thank you all for listening to the program and have a nice day. Producers Lenin PK, Namir M, Kupuswamy M, Vishnu C and Shruti. Guidance Dr. S. Arul Selvan, HOD Electronic Media Department. Special thanks to Sriraj 2nd MA Hindi, Reba Research Scholar MSW, Praveen 2nd MSW, Gorby 1st MSW, Neeraj 2nd MSc Electronic Media. Narration Sharhad Hanif 2nd year MA Mass Comm. Staff and students of Electronic Media Department and also the migrated workers inside the university campus. And last but not the least, thank you Puduvai Vani.
माई हो तुमाई सबके फेरा ना नजरिया हम दुआरिया आईनी ना हम दुआरिया आईनी ना माई हो बनी के भिखरिया हम दुआरिया आईनी ना माई हो बनी के भिखरिया हम दुआरिया आईनी ना सुनीले की खाली हाथ आवेला उपावेला तोहरी सरनिया में दुख जे बतावेला सुनीले की खाली हाथ आवेला उपावेला तोहरी सरनिया में दुख जे बतावेला माई हो बनी के भिखरिया हम दुआरिया आईनी ना माई हो बनी के भिखरिया हम दुआरिया आईनी ना माई हो बनी के भिखरिया हम दुआरिया आईनी ना.